Hello StarCraft fans, and welcome to another Fun Day Monday replay. This time we have the real OG Gabriel versus who is that? MajorCwolf, who is Ollie. Protoss versus Zerg. And this time I got a little bit lazy with the handicaps, so I decided that I'd let them choose each other's handicap. So each of them had to pick one unit, and then their opponent would only be allowed to build that unit. Gabriel went for disruptors for Ollie, and Ollie forced Gabriel to only build infestors. Both of these are quite late tier units, so it's likely going to be a while before we actually see any action occurring here. Gabriel, having quite wisely realised that his opponent is on a very late game army, has decided to expand very early. This should give him a nice economic advantage and will allow him to spawn loads of units and hopefully win the game. Ollie, for some reason, going for quite a defensive start here, building the gateway, and pylon is to such a way to more or less completely wall off this ramp, with the tiny space here can be easily blocked by a zealot, thus denying access to your base. Okay, not much else going on. Overseer just sitting there. Scouting, not much. Tree finishing up. Ollie, as we can see here, has dropped in a simulator onto Gabriel's Vespene Geyser. He's unlikely to be able to mine from this simulator, but it will stop Gabriel from mining it, because it means if he wants to mine it, he has to build one of his extractors on there. So he will have to kill this assimilator and then build an extractor, and that's going to take him a while, because these assimilators are quite tanky. They have 450 shields and 450 health, and that takes quite a while to get through. And Ollie realised again that his opponent is on quite a late game build, so I'm going to go right ahead and put a Nexus down here. Not entirely sure what's going on there. I think Gabriel's attempted to build an extractor there, but Ollie appears to have beaten him to the punch, which would explain why there's a little outline around it. Hopefully the worker's going to get there and realise that there's nothing he can really do. This one now is also blocked off, so Gabriel is not going to be able to do the same thing to Ollie as Ollie did to him, which will put Ollie on a slight advantage of gas, unless, of course, Gabriel simply decides to go around here and build an extractor there. Sneaky Gabriel. Right then. As you can see, not much going on here. Forge coming down for Ollie. There's the forge. This is quite a useful building, will allow him to research upgrades, such as damage, shields, and armour. I don't think there's much point researching damage here, because as far as I'm aware, the damage that disruptors deal, which they do by firing out this tiny, well, moderately sized energy ball, which will then fly a short distance across the map and explode after 2 seconds, the damage that deals, as far as I'm aware, does not scale with any weapons upgrades. It's just 145 damage base, plus 55 damage to shields, I believe. Not that that's going to make much difference, because no Zerg units have shields. As we see here, Ollie, being a bit cheeky, has built a zealot. This is actually illegal for Ollie to do. He is on a mono build, so is only allowed to build workers and disruptors. I think he's realised that this naughty zealot should not be in the game, and it's going to go and stand in the corner, like the naughty zealot it is. Possibly expect to see a message about that coming up soon. You see the simulator still there, blocking Gabriel, and this extractor still here, blocking Ollie. Both of them are starting to work her up. Gabriel somewhat ahead on his opponent, but Ollie not far behind. Gabriel finishing up the infestation pit, which is, as far as I'm aware, the last tech building required to morph in infestors. Yes, there we go. Just explaining the little error there. Still, not much happening. A little bit of scouting done on both sides. I don't think either player really knows anything. Well, knows about the expand, of course, got vision from that. And he can see that. So he can see the infestation pit. So if he's had a look at that, he will probably know what his opponent's building, or of course he could just remember what he told him to build. But he will know that infestors are going to be turning up fairly soon if he sees this complete. What's this coming down here? Pylon down there. A little bit of extra supply. Can never have too much supply, although you can waste minerals on supply, so don't build too many. Gabriel, however, as we see, is not having that problem. Gabriel has the reverse problem, for he is supply blocked. So expect to see some... oh, there we go. 2 overlords in production right there. 3 robotics facilities coming down right here. This should allow Ollie to build about 1 million disruptors and throw his balls everywhere. Photon cannons coming down. These are quite useful. I did decide to allow for this monobuild to allow both players to build defensive units, but they have to build them within their own base. So we don't... hopefully that should eliminate the possibility of any proxy photon cannons, because they're quite nasty. These will make short work of the extractor, which has only 500 health, which is about half that of the assimilator. Okay, here we have the first infestors coming out here. Infestors have 3 abilities, 2 of which are unlocked from the start, and 1 of which you have to research to get. You have Infested Terran, which spawns basically a slightly weak marine, which takes spawns a little egg. 5 seconds later the marine will pop out of that egg and start shooting things for 21 seconds before it dies. Costs 25 energy. And Fungal Growth basically just roots all units in place and deals 30 damage to them over the 3 seconds. Also reveals units. See, 3rd base going down for Ollie here, and 3rd base already down for Gabriel. So again, let's see, how's the income doing? Oh, income actually slightly in favour of the Protoss here, interesting. Let's see, 4 workers there, only 7 workers on that one, 10 workers here, whereas Ollie, 17 workers and 11 there. So, yeah, pretty even in terms of both. Gabriel slightly ahead in terms of gas. APM, my goodness. Gabriel, what are you doing? Let's have a look. Killed off, I think it was yes. I think I saw what happened there. Gabriel appears to have built accidentally a couple of Zerglings, and unfortunately had to kill them with his own spine crawler. Not great. Yeah, well, you see defensive buildings going down for both players. Both players, I think, now do have an army together. See a disruptor here, and more heading over for some harass, and infestors hopefully waiting to scare them away. Interestingly, Ollie, having had this forge up for some time, yet to actually research any upgrades from it. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Right, here we go, some action. So, infestors here, as you can see, can actually burrow, which means they're entirely invisible to opposing players. Oh, and there goes... okay, Fungal's coming down here. This will immobilize them and prevent them from running away. And as you can see, the, I think Disruption Node it was called, does deal quite heavy damage there. So Gabriel did micro that fairly well. I think managed to dodge most of those. How many units did he lose? Let's have a look. What's that unit killed? Oh. Okay, so 6 units killed by Ollie, so that'll be 5 infestors and a worker, and just the worker killed for Gabriel. So far Ollie definitely coming out on top in the micro game, and intending to extend his lead even further by splitting up his disruptors and having one on both sides of the map. Gabriel, meanwhile, sneaky little base here. Hopefully going to try and sneak a few infestors around the corner. See if he can do anything. Oh, a bit of an engagement. There you saw was some of the infested Terrans getting blown to pieces. They're going to get held down by Fungal, but unfortunately, as the infestors have no attack of their own, holding them down with Fungal does stop them running away, but it doesn't actually allow you to pin them down and damage them. And by the time these infested Terrans got out, the Fungal had ended, and so the disruptors ran off. So while he's focusing on them, Ollie is also bringing them around here, so doing a remarkably good job of splitting his APM between these 2 groups of disruptors, you see. Absolutely massacred that mineral line. As the oh dear, this could be oh no! Gabriel did actually manage to get his out of the way, and now that's trapped underneath the spine crawler. It's probably going to die there. He does still have 4 of them going. Not going to achieve anything. Most of these infestors, you can see, very low on energy, so they're not going to be able to achieve much at this point. What's this one got? 22 energy, yeah. So they do regenerate energy at a fair rate, and I think if you're just spamming Infested Terran, which is 25 energy, you can get about 2 Terrans out per minute per infestor, which, given they have a 21-second lifespan, will allow you to have Terrans up most of the time, but not all of it. Unfortunately, these guys deal very little damage and are very slow. Ooh! Oh dear, that was not well met with there by Gabriel. I think he was probably looking at something else. The problem with both of these armies being incredibly micro-heavy is that it is quite easy to miss the action for half a second, at which point about 1,000 of these Purification Novas fly over and your entire army dies. So I think Ollie probably does have the better mono build here out of the two, because his deal 145 splash damage and Infestors only have 90 health. Whereas Infestors can deal 30 damage out of the, what's that, 200 health that they have, or Terrans, which deal about, I think, 8 damage a shot. I do believe, having looked at the numbers for these, that if an infested Terran was to spend its entire life shooting a disruptor, it would be able to kill it, but it takes a lot longer, and as we can see, disruptors make very short work of infestors, as do spine crawlers make of disruptors, especially if Gabriel can fungal them under their reach. Ollie seems to have realised what he's doing now, though, and is cunningly staying well out of range of these spine crawlers. He can, of course, damage them with his Nova, as he's placed here. He's going to try and take those out. Still no upgrades going on. I don't think there's any here. No, none of those are. And there's a disruptor, a few disruptors here. Just coming to join the party. Ah! Ollie now gonna build a nexus right next to this base here, which will allow him to put photon cannons there, which is a bold move, certainly, but if he can defend it well with these disruptors, he should be able to pull it off. So not much going on here. A few photon cannons, just to hold the line in case any of these infestors, which I hopefully come from here, do manage to get anything done. Let's see, he has no idea that this base is actually down yet. He's seen all of these. Yeah, the infested Terrans versus disruptors turns out not a good fight. Terrans, because they're so slow, they find it incredibly hard to dodge the Novas. And of course, Gabriel once again, looking away for half a second, comes back, and he's lost a lot of infestors. Not good. Good job of producing some workers here, though. This will hopefully be up and running fairly soon. But the Nexus is down, which means that photon cannons are not far behind. Now, as you see with the little eggs there, these well, that's not an egg, that's a Terran. But anyway, the eggs that are spawned before the Terrans go down, they are actually vulnerable and they can be killed. And the eggs are, so this egg here, it can be shot before the Terran comes out, and if you destroy the egg, that means no Terran. So let's look at this guy here. 8 damage per shot, so it doesn't really compare to the disruptors. You see, good units both sides. Gabriel, I think, Ollie, yeah, quite significantly ahead with both forms of income now, having quite well blocked his opponent in here and expanded himself. Also, very far ahead in terms of units killed. It's not going well. Right, so expect photon cannons not to be far away now. So yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, that's one canvas that. That probe is going to die though before it can start that. Oh, that was bad. I think Ollie there did guess that there were some infestors probably hiding out. See, he can't actually see them when they're burrowed, but he's just going to spam them down there, and he's going to kill stuff eventually. See there, it takes 3 disruptor shots to take out an awful lot of disruptor shots to take out a hatchery. That wasn't actually enough there, and you can see now, once these get in range of the photon cannon, they can be seen, because photon cannons are detectors. Yeah, as we see, they actually managed to take out the majority of those Terrans before they even spawned in. So Ollie doing quite well here. Gabriel does not appear to have the tools to deal with this full disruptor army, which is unfortunate really, because he gave it to Ollie. Wow, Gabriel being even more brave here, got another very proxy one there, so protecting the spine crawlers. These, if this goes unnoticed by Ollie, it will be able to, if not kill, but certainly heavily damage any disruptors coming through here. Ollie meanwhile taking mincemeat of all of these. You see there, they haven't got much health left. Yeah, it's not pretty, is it? taken out this base already. This one's probably not going to last for much longer. It's cool, 9 second cool. Wait, no, hang on a minute. What's the total cooldown on one of these? Let's wait for it. Right, it's up. Okay, 21 second cooldown. So he's got, how many has he got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's about 16 of them there. So he can not far off send out one of those every second on average. And of course, the nice thing about disruptors is that they are actually immune to friendly disruptor shots. So he can quite happily just park on top of the shots if there's any Terrans getting too close, and they will be non-immune. Also, as we can see, mixed meat of workers. Oh, so Ollie has realised what's going on here. He's seen the base, taken out the spoiler crawler, and this base is not going too far behind. Oh, there we go. Comes in the GG. Yeah, I think that's wise. This base not going to last much longer. Oh well, good game.